Hey guys, what's up? My name is Zach, and today I'll be doing an election prediction between former Secretary and former 2016 Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton versus U.S. President Donald Trump in a hypothetical 2020 presidential election rematch. So I just made this video before, but I guess it just didn't play. I didn't press record, I guess. I could have sworn I did, but I guess I didn't. So now I'm going to make this video again, and hopefully I'm able to comment and call states just as well as I did before. So obviously Hillary Clinton is not a major Democratic contender for the 2020 election, just like Nancy Pelosi isn't. But this was the suggestion made in one of my last videos, I think, and I think it'd be a good election prediction just because it would show how Trump would do against his former 2016 rival. Since he did win against her, obviously, in the 2016 election, it'd be interesting to see how much better or worse. I don't think he'd do worse. Spoiler alert: he'd do much better in 2016 against Hillary Clinton again. But it'd be interesting to see how he would do in certain states compared to how he did in 2016, because approval, I think, is going to play a big factor. And obviously, I think that Hillary Clinton's main what's really going to screw over Hillary Clinton in this 2020 election, if she is the candidate again, is just lack of Democratic turnout and lack of minority turnout, which you could argue was her same fault in the 2016 election. But I think it would really screw her over now, since she would have virtually no minority turnout, which Democrats need. I mentioned that in my last video. Democrats need at least some significant degree of minority turnout on their side in order to win elections, which Hillary Clinton did not have enough of. I don't think that's the only reason why Hillary Clinton didn't lost the 2016 election, but I think it's a major factor why she lost the 2016 election is that lack of minority turnout on her side. So let's just run through the safe states. So unlike Nancy Pelosi, I think that Hillary Clinton would do better than Nancy Pelosi did. Not significantly better, but she'd do better regardless. But Oregon would not be safe in her column, and this is mostly because there was a significant shift towards Donald Trump in the 2016 election in Oregon, and if she's a candidate, that shift would grow, and the fact that Oregon is not a Democratic state, it's not as much a Democratic state as Washington or California is. Arizona, however, I don't think would be safe, and I'm going to discuss that once I get to it. Nebraska's second wouldn't be safe either, and I'll discuss that once I get to it as well. However, Texas would be safe, Georgia would be safe, North Carolina would be safe for Trump, Illinois would still be safe for Clinton, Iowa would be solid for Trump, most of the Northeast except for Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, I guess, would be safe for her. I really should have looked at the 2016 results before I made this video, but I do believe that Delaware would still be safe in her column. Same with Maryland and D.C. and Vermont, I guess. So the safe states, Trump has a definitive advantage already, as you can see. And let's get right to it. Oregon, obviously, would be likely in her column. I already discussed it before. I'm not going to go over it again. Likely. Nevada would be likely in Trump's column, and this is because Hillary Clinton barely held it in 2016, and I think that she would definitely lose it in 2020 if she was the candidate again, but Trump voters would definitely have a peaked turnout, and she would have virtually no Latino vote, which already would make the state Republican in any other scenario, but then the Democratic base that isn't a minority would not want to turn out for Hillary Clinton either, which is why the state would be likely. I think that Arizona, in the video the video that didn't record, I called this as likely, but now that I'm looking at it again, it would be solid. Hillary Clinton, the only reason why it was such a small margin in 2016 was because of the third-party factor. If it wasn't for that, it would have been just as the same size as it was in 2012 for Obama. So there was not a lot of shift. There was not a big shift. Well, there was. I mean, there was in general, but if you're considering the third-party vote, then there really wasn't, for the Democrats at least. So there would definitely be less Hispanic turnout, just like there would be in Nevada, which is the only way the state would flip blue at all in 2020, and then the Democratic base itself wouldn't show up for Hillary Clinton, which would make the state solid red. New Mexico, virtually the same reason as the rest of the Southwest, be a leaning Clinton's column, just because the Hispanic vote would not turn out as much as it would for Hillary Clinton. Even like in New Mexico for 2016, I believe Trump lost this state by a margin of less than 10%, which is a very bad thing for Democrats if they're losing if they're winning New Mexico by just like 9 or 8 percentage points. And I believe that gap would be closed by Trump in 2020 if Clinton was the nominee again. Colorado, same deal. I call that as a lean. Not likely, just because his approval is low here, Trump's approval, and I think that would kind of negate whatever lack of turnout would be on Clinton's column to make the state a lean, not likely in Trump's column. Nebraska's second would be likely, just because the reason why it's not solid is just because this district does have very low approval of Donald Trump. They're Republican. It's a Republican district in the House of Representatives, but they don't approve of Donald Trump very much at all, and so that's why it'd be likely and not solid. The entire Rust Belt I consider to be a lean, even Wisconsin, and this is just looking at the 2016 results and the fact that Trump's approval rating has been significantly lower here since the 2016 election, and that and then once you consider the negatives on Clinton's side, which are lack of Democratic turnout, lack of turnout period, you can see I'm going to call Wisconsin as likely for Trump, just because this is already the more Republican state of the Rust Belt. So for that reason, Wisconsin would be likely. I didn't call that likely in my last prediction video, but I'm going to call it likely here. My last video that I just didn't record, I'm going to call it likely here just because I'm reconsidering it. Ohio would be likely, if not solid, just because it is a swing state, and I believe that Clinton would probably maintain the same margin she held in 2016, just considering Trump's approval was lower, but then that's negated by lack of turnout. This entire, my entire commentary on this race in general is just lack of turnout for Hillary Clinton, which makes sense. There would be a complete and total lack of turnout, particularly with minorities for Hillary Clinton. And that's what would cost her the election ultimately, as you can see already, 286. We're not done yet. Virginia I'd consider to be a lean in Hillary Clinton's column, just because she did win it in 2016, mostly because of Tim Kaine, but she won it with not a lot of minority turnout in this state, and even if there is less minority turnout in 2016, even if in 2020, and even if there is less turnout in general for the Democrats, in 2020 with Hillary Clinton, she could still hold on to the state, potentially. Up at Maine, their first district would be a lean in Trump's column. Oh, yeah, second would be solid. I don't know why I didn't fill that in before in Trump's column. And then the two electoral votes would be likely in Trump's column. And the reasoning for that is just because it was very low in 2016. It'll be even lower in 2020, and which would make the entire state go to Trump. New Hampshire, I consider to be likely in this column just because Clinton barely held on to this in 2016, and she would definitely lose it by a significant margin this time to Trump. Connecticut, however, would be likely in Hillary Clinton's column just because the margin was... The only reason why I'm making it a likely state is because the margin was almost cut in half for Hillary Clinton in 2016, and it would be even less in 2020 if she was the candidate, but I don't think it's enough to flip the state. Same with New Jersey. Same logic for New Jersey. Pennsylvania would be a lean in Trump's column, virtually for the same reason as the rest of the Rust Belt. She will have even less turnout with the white working class, and virtually no turnout with minorities, which would give the state to Republicans with any candidate, if that's the case. And then Florida, I guess I consider to be a lean and not likely for Trump. No, I'm gonna say it's gonna be likely, just because the only way for Democrats to win this state over Republicans is to have peaked Hispanic turnout, which Hillary Clinton would not. She would not have white working class turnout, which would make this state ultimately be pretty likely to go to Trump. All right, so this is the prediction. As you can see, Hillary Clinton does moderately better than Nancy Pelosi, but nothing significant. Trump still wins by what I think is a landslide. So this was another suggestion made in the comments. This and Nancy Pelosi were two suggestions. I do have a list of different election videos I want to make, but I'll always put suggestions over the candidates that I want to run. Well, I'll get to them eventually, but I'll do these first just because you guys are my subscribers, and I will deliver to you what you want as a priority. But I do have a list of other Democrats I want to get to, but please feel free to leave down any suggestions below, and I'll most likely make an election prediction from there. I've made an election prediction for every suggestion that's been given to me so far, and I'll continue to do that. So if you have any suggestions, I urge you to leave them down below, and thanks for watching. See ya.